Hi. So, I went to the NAWCQ. I didn't do as well as I wanted to. I got 622nd. I went 5-4. I feel very iffy, but I don't think I performed bad because I played were bad or that my deck building was bad. I just got unlucky. And yes, a lot of people will say that, oh, I got sacked. Oh, custom hands. But I'll talk about it with the cards in my deck. I got some mathematically impossible things. Not to mention, out of all 9 rounds, I won 1 die roll. So, not fun. But, with that being said, let's get into it. I played orcust. No surprise. I went from being the tier element boy to the orcust girl, So for the orcust engine itself, I played 3 Irsu, 3 Harpor. I only played 1 Simple Skeleton this time. This deck's built to be Cool Tune because that was the deck's worst matchup by far. And opening Simple Skeleton versus Cool Tune really hurt because it was so low impact as a starter. And that's the thing, they don't know that. Like, if you open Harpor plus, if you open Simple Skeleton plus Harpor and you go normal summon Simple Skeleton, you can play that game. They have to question, are you bluffing or do you have the Harpor in hand, right? That's one of the main skills with Orcust is bluffing, but Cool Tune just goes, look at your hand. So, can't really do that, so I just had to play. So I played 1 to minimize bad cards to draw. I played 1 World Crown, obviously. I did not play the Canine variant because it got murdered. It got crucified. So, no World Chalice, 1 Babel, 1 Crescendo, Standard, 1 Foolish Burial. So, I did also play I did play Azaminas, which I think is standard. I played 3 Seeker of the Sinful Spoils, 2 Diabell Star, 1 Deception, 1 Hollowed, 1 Gaze at Timaeus. I think that these were fine. I like this ratio. I wasn't drawing these too bad when I didn't have one of these. But as you can see from the next card, I had to do something I don't like. If you've watched my other videos, you know I hate the Mitsuris. I despise these cards. In Orcust specifically. In other decks, they're fine. But in Orcust, they just don't really help you achieve your game plan, in my opinion. But they do one thing, which is against Cool Tune, you just need hard pushes. You can't fake pushes like you can normally. You can't make your opponent guess. Like, they know everything. You just need more cards that hard need to be answered. And that's what the Mitsurugi's provided. I did only play a small Mitsuri package. Only 2 rituals, Saji, 3 prayers, 3 pre-prep, 1 mirror, 1 Mitsuri ritual. So, I hate playing these in the Orcust, and because they're bricky. Not like they're bad cards. Obviously, Murakumo's an insane card. I also play the Trap Inside. Like, these cards are insane, but when I'm not joking. You can ask my opponents. I drew Saji more than I drew any of these combined. I drew Saji more than I drew any of the starters for my other 2 engines. I drew this card more than any of these combined. My hand kept being like, I don't know, I kept shuffling, we kept cutting and things like that. My hand would be like pre-prep, prayers, Saji, ritual, non-engine. Like, I don't know what it is, but and also, I could have gone 6-3, which would have been better if it wasn't for a player I played against. I was playing against Blue Eyes' opponent. No shade to them, but they misplayed. So I opened my hand, and it was a Murakumo, Saji, Prayers, Ritual, and a non-engine, right? So I'm going second. I use my one non-engine to stop them because they opened a bad hand. And then I start off by going Prayers, Tribute, Saji. And I was expecting them to hit Saji because that's what you do against Mitsurugi. You hit the Saji because without ritual access, it doesn't matter if they have anything, right? But he admitted he did not know how to play against Mitsurugi, so he just ashed the Prayers. So I lost. Like, I'm not saying I played perfectly this event. I definitely did misplay some. Like in my round 1 versus Cool Tune. Yes, round 1 I did lose the die roll versus Cool Tune, which was fun. I might have possibly been able to win game 1 because I forgot the effect of deception to reset itself. But like, I still probably lost that game, but it's good to admit when you know you made misplays. Also, versus my round 3 Light and Darkness opponent, I possibly could have won game 3 because I could have searched these two and I had both these in hand, but I instead searched Prayers because they only had one card in hand and they hadn't used it to hit like my symbols, Skeleton Bringback or anything like that before I did my Mitsurugi plays, so I just assumed they didn't have Bell. They did. They had Bell for the mirror that I had in hand because I, instead of searching Ritual, searched Prayers because I already had mirror. They had Bell for the mirror, and that completely crippled me after they then super polyed away all my orcust guys, and I'd used all their graveyard effects that turn just for them to lava go on me when I spilt the Azaminas. But like, yeah, that even if that game was probably still lost, it is good to notice when you did make misplays. I do feel like when I did get to play, I played incredibly well. I mean, there's a reason I got to the NAWCQ playing orcust, right? But today just wasn't my day. Today just wasn't my day. I put out of the 9 rounds I played, I opened Saji, like, 7 of them. I opened them in at least one game, which, in a 46, this is a 46 card deck, is annoying. Well, what can you do? I also, if I was to go back, I wouldn't have changed anything. I think that my engine was fine. I would not have gone back and been like, oh, well, the Mitsurugis hurt me, so I shouldn't have played them. No, I don't like the Mitsurugis, but I do personally think, again, you may disagree personally, but in all my testing, consistently, like, yeah, you can win games with the Mitsurugis, right? But consistently, you opening the Mitsurugi, you do need the more pushes. Like, versus Cool Tune, which was the deck I was most expecting to see, and it was the one I was worried about because Orcust can actually play versus everything else pretty decently. Except like Amorphage Power Patron if you don't draw a non-engine, but like, the Amorphage version of that deck's fake. I'm sorry, I don't like the Amorphages in the deck. Borland. Sorry, someone's alarm's going off in the background. So, that was it for the engine. For the non-engine, I played 3 Ash because you need to hit Ash. You need Ash because Foolish kills your deck. Did not see this once through the entire event. Not once. Same with Foolish, did not see it once. That's just me being unlucky. Not bad cards. You should play these. I think these are very, very good. Then I played 3 Dominus Impulse. This card is one of the reasons Orcust is so playable. Just the ability to play Impulse is so crazy. This card's disgustingly cracked. 3 Super Poly. 3 Droplet and a Crown. The Super Poly was specifically put in because like I said, I really wanted to be able to play versus Cool Tune going second. Because, like, Cool Tune's just so over-centralizing as a deck. It's so much of, if it looks at your hand, it wins. It almost always wins versus Orcust unless you can do something with it. And these cards, and sometimes this card, but these cards in particular, yes, I played only one Crown, force your opponent to play differently. They force the opponent to change how they're playing their game. Because, like, if they're on Super Poly, they have to put you on, do you play Theseus or not? And I'll get into if I play Theseus in my extra deck. It puts you on, do they play Theseus or not? And usually the answer is, I'm going to play around Theseus, because otherwise I lose the game on the spot. Did not see this versus my Cool Tune opponents. Droplet is also really good as synergizer with the deck, because guys like being engraved. Crown. I only played 1 Crown for a few reasons. One, I only had 1 Crown, but I could have bought more at the event before I submitted my deck list. But I didn't, because I didn't want to. I played 1 Crown in the list for mostly siding purposes. It gets a lot of matchups. You want to side in a lot of different cards. And Crown is a good card, don't get me wrong. But I think it's a very overhyped card. Crown is not as good as people think. And it's not better than, like, in a deck that doesn't make negates, like, spoiler, I play Illusion Gate. Like, in a deck that's, not making a lot of negates, I prefer Illusion Gate, you know? Like, Crown is good, and Crown is a good card in Game 1, particularly. Once they know about Crown, they play around Crown. It's not that hard to play around, in my opinion. But, like, yeah, this is all fit in for sighting patterns. But, like, the non-engine, I also do not regret my non-engine choices. Just wish I saw it. I drew no more than, like, 2 non-engine the entire tournament. Which, like, again, it's just unlucky. Today was not my day. Well, I'm the kind of person who wants to look at their mistakes, but sometimes you just have to go, wow, Yu-Gi-Oh! Really hated me. I started off this tournament 0-4 and then won all 5 rounds after because my deck actually started behaving. As soon as my deck started drawing playable, I just swept. If that makes sense. Field Center, because I forgot my Field Center my sister made of herself. Because I forgot my playmat, so I had to play with this hideous playmat. I know, it's hideous. What people might say, this is hideous. I hate it. It doesn't have any of the engine. It doesn't have any zones. Don't really care for any of the monsters. Like, it doesn't even have a real Xyz monster representative. But, so now, for the extra deck, drew Legacy tokens. No one clocked I was on Orcust. I would think having 2 World Legacy tokens might cue you into I'm playing Orcust. But, like, I don't know. So for the Orcusts, I played 1 Galatea Eye. Yes, I only played 1. Because Galatea Eye is a really, really good card. But you don't need it. Like you don't need Galatea Eye. The number of games I've won where they banished face down my Galatea Eye, or in testing where the Cool Tune opponent took Galatea Eye with Crackle or something, I still won those games. Like, Galatea Eye is a very strong card, but it is not a necessity for your victory. On the other hand, Galatea, which we play 2 of, is very much a necessity for your victory most of the time. I mean, again, I've won games without Galatea, but you really want Galatea. So I played 2. Because if they click, like if they're making crackle, they're playing around, they're trying to rip out your super poly targets. So if they do that, okay, which means they don't have enough to take out both Galateas. And they can only banish 1 with clip. So that's good. 1 SPL tonight. I did not bring her girlfriend along. The X deck was just too tight. I really wanted to play IP, but the X deck was just too tight. I didn't miss it once. I didn't miss IP once. IP comes up in corner case scenarios. Like with all the extra link material we've got. Sorry, we don't. With all the extra material we've got, we usually can just climb into Elgirsu easily. Or we just don't want to link off our bodies. Next is Long Girsu. Actually, my Light and Darkness opponent nearly lost the game because they didn't play around it. They top decked Mind Shuffle when we were in a grind game scenario, and then they lava golemed away this guy and my SPL tonight, which sucks, but it happens. But they nearly lost the game because I got rid of their stuff using on Girsu's effect. So yes, it does come up. And then El Girsu, his card is still cracked, and it literally completely won me the game whenever it showed up, because, or at least nearly, it completely has to rework how players play the game, because a non-targeting take, like my Cool Tune opponents, this can completely counter back-to-back, basically, because back-to-back can because if I summon this guy, and then use his effect, and you chain back-to-back, whatever you summon, and then you either can't synchro with it, because then I take the synchro, or I can just take back-to-back, and now it does nothing. Basically, they can't synchro, or I take the synchro, which is great, and if they don't synchro, then I just take the back-to-back, and they no longer have back-to-back, which they invested so many resources into, meaning cards like Zalen in their graveyard are just completely gone, unless they bring that back. But in that case, you can, because you're going second, obviously, if they have back-to-back, is you can then just crash the back-to-back into the Zalen. It's great. This card's disgusting. I only played 1 Ding. I wanted to play 2 Ding. Never came up, though. No one ever banished my Ding. No one ever even thought of banishing my Ding. And also, Ding is, a good card, but again, it's not, a necessity. A lot of people think Ding and Galatea I are necessities. You just need a Galatea and a Dream, and you'll win games. I tell you, if you play right, you will win with a Galatea and a Dream. Too bad I didn't get to Galatea and a Dream most of the time. Most of the time, I just could not even get any orcusts. Which is weird, because I played Zombie Vampire and I was drawing orcusts so much. But, I didn't mill an orcust once off Zombie Vampire. To be fair, I only resolved Zombie Vampire twice. But yeah, so that's it for the orcust Mitsu stuff. Again, I will suggest about the Mitsus. I don't think the Mitsus are good most of the time. We're in a very specific scenario. We're in Cool Tune format. That's why I played it. If Cool Tune gets smoked on the ban list, if it's no longer the best deck, if it's not a top represented deck, I will just be playing Orcust Azamina. I think Orcust Azamina is the better deck against everything except Cool Tune. That is my opinion. And I will die on that hill. I was just thinking, oh, I'm going to play against a lot of Cool Tune. It's the NAWCQ. I did, but it didn't really help my deck. I played against Cool Tunes in round... I played against Cool Tunes in round 1. I lost round 5 and round 8. But like the Mitsurugis did come up and win me those games going second. Like they give you extra pushes, which is what you need. You need guaranteed pushes versus that deck in particular. Now, on for the rest of my extra, which is fusion monsters. First, super poly targets. I did go pretty hard into super poly targets. I played Mud Dragon, Theseus, Garua. I did play Theseus. I just felt like you needed to. They just, especially after game 1, if you super poly them, which happened once, they now knew I played Theseus. They had to respect Theseus for the rest of the match, because they had to respect Theseus for the rest of the match, especially because I was playing Azaminas and you could just draw an additional card. They just had to respect Theseus, especially with things in combination like Impulse and such. It was great. These other two did actually come up. I made this versus Light and Darkness Ritual, and I made this versus Blue Eyes. Lost the die roll to the Blue Eyes player. They won because of their misplay in the game 3, but whatever. Next for the Azaminas. 1, Ulti Ilya Sylvia. You can thank my brother for pulling this. Say hi, bro.
Hi.
My cameraman. 1, Murcielago. I made this twice, but it was helpful both times. It drew me into a Mitsurugi card. Helped me draw into Mitsurugis. 1, Demod. 1, Dragoon. Like this, if you're going to play this deck, like, I think this deck was good. I think my main deck and my extra deck, there were no real mistakes made. I think that I just got unlucky, and you have to do so much to play around Cool Tune. But I think until Cool Tune gets hit, unless you're someone like me, who is no-life's orcust, no-life orcust for a very long time, even before the new support, you probably shouldn't be playing Orcust. Like, this is not a format where you're just like, oh, I heard Orcust is interesting, I should jump into it. If you want to do that, that's great, and I support it. I'm just going to tell you, this is going to be trial by fire. This format is not very welcoming to Orcust, and you need to play near perfectly a lot of the time, versus, especially going second, versus like Cool Tune. So that's it for the X deck. Now for the side deck. This one is more up for flow. I played 3 Perulia, 1 Meows. I actually did side in Meows multiple times. I did not see a single Charmy this entire tournament, but I did side these in quite often. Like, I sided this in against Light and Darkness Ritual because they were playing a variant that drew a lot, that summoned a lot from the grave. They were playing like Mitsus and stuff in it as well. And I played Perulia in a lot of matchups, particularly again particularly like Blue Eyes, Light and Darkness Ritual, things like that. Like, you can Perulia on your own turn versus Light and Darkness Ritual, and then you can at least basically it's now Pot of Greed, because they tag into one of their rituals and then they tag into the other, and that's 2 draws. Like I like the Charmies. Like, people can say Meows is not good. Like, it was fine. If I drew them, I would probably be happier with them. But the theory behind them is perfect. Droll. It's Droll and Lockbird. You should side this card. This card is disgustingly broken. And then lastly, for the monsters, is 1 Wosu. This is for Lunalite. Did not play 1 Lunalite. Did not play 1 Raid Raptor. Didn't get into a Power Patron situation where they summoned their big guy. Next, we play 2 Thrust. So, I sided very heavily for going second. Did not see this side once, but I do support this side. The side works when it's online, when I drew it. 2 Illusion Gate. Yes, I know this is expensive. If you don't have Illusion Gate, you can just replace these with like Lightning Storms or Raigekis. Like, I'd say 1 Raigeki, 1 Lightning Storm. Well, like, Illusion Gate is just such a busted card. If you can play it, you should. 1 Duster. This won me my last round. I was playing against a guy. Game 1, he decides I can go first for some reason, despite what I've later learned about his deck. Then I proceed to just build my board. He concedes. Game 2, he sets his whole hand face down. He was playing a trap deck. No clue why he made me go first the first time. I think, like, maybe it's like a Tempai trap deck or something. I don't know. Like, maybe they were playing Tempai and stun traps or whatever. Like, they sided into the traps, maybe. Again, I don't know. I draw for turn, it's Duster, and I go... Because I side, like, all of these in all ways. Even if I don't know what I'm playing against, because they're all generically good this format. I go, okay, Duster, they scooped up their cards, they conceded. The one time I saw Duster, it won me the game. So that's it. All of these are basically geared for going second, because again, orcust can win basically anything, can do cold fusion going first. Like, going second's the real problem. Now, I played 3 cards for going first because I played Fuva in main. I played Great Purification, Solemn Judgment, and I called by the grave. I saw Solemn Judgment. It won me my game 2 versus Blue Eyes. I never got to search Great Purification, never drew called by. But like, I support the theory of this. If you're going to play the Mitsus, I think this would be the correct 3 to play. 3 to play if you're for the Charmy, siding out the Charmies going first. So, I want to say, the NAWCQ is not what I wanted, but I still think 622nd, especially for a 17-year-old girl, is pretty good. Especially when I was playing a very rogue deck in a field full of meta and was opening bad. I think that 622nd is a respectable place. 5-4 is a respectable place. I would think so. I will say, this NAWCQ wasn't just, oh, well, I didn't do well. I got things. I got a Fallen in the White Dragon, so I can test out Branded. I got the Link 5, the new Dolls Link 5, so I can test tier. If you liked my tier stuff, I'll be trying that out more. I have the entire Power Patron core, which I'm trying. Not Amorphage Power Patron, like Power Patron, the pure stuff. I have all the cards for Vanquish Soul Canine. I hope to expand my horizons. Like, I still love orcust. But if Cool Tune in cool decks, if like another deck, we keep getting decks that look at your hand. If decks that look at your hand become more and more common, I need to broaden my horizons, because yes, I can play orcust, but it's just not fun. Like, again, I don't like the mixed rupees. If Cool Tune gets smoked, if you're watching this by the time Cool Tune's gotten smoked, cut these 3, 6, 9, 11. Cut these 11 cards. That'll put you down to 35. Then play like 2 more crowns if you have them, and a playset of some hand trap like Bell. Like, that's what I would recommend if you like your personal meta doesn't contain Cool Tune. That's what I would suggest you do. Cut these, put in 2 more crowns, put in a hand trap of your choice for your meta. I would prefer Bell this format. Or maybe put in Droll Callby if you're like really dealing with the FTKE decks. That's what I would recommend. Legitimately, because I do want you guys to do better. The Mitsus are good if you're playing against Cool Tune. They're not needed versus anything else. I was just betting my hands that I was going to play against Cool Tune. Other than that, yeah, my content should expand into more content. I should be returning to Tealment. I'll be playing Power Patron. I'll be testing VS K9. I've Crystron K9. I've just had the cards. I've just had them because I pulled them. I have cards for other decks, like Ryziel, like, if the new Umbral Horror stuff, shout out to my brother for showing me about the new Umbral Horror stuff. I'm a huge Zexal girly. Once the new Umbral Horror stuff comes out, Ryziel Umbral Horror is a deck I'm going to be trying. I think that it could be a real good deck once October comes. But with that, if you have any questions, put them in the comment section below and I'll try and answer them. Bye!